What's up guys, this is David here and welcome to another Mobile Legends most in-depth guide video featuring Hayabusa, Shadow of Iga, crowd control based simulator, cure your ass jutsu master, and so on and so forth. We did a Hayabusa guide a while ago, and with lots of amazing patches that came our way recently, Hayabusa experienced some up and downs as well. So in this guide, you're going to know how to use Hayabusa correctly in the current meta, and what are some best builds on Hayabusa, as well as tips and tricks on how to use Hayabusa in general. So, let's go. Skill. Hayabusa's passive, Ninjutsu, Shadow Heal, will heal Hayabusa every time he hits 4 abilities on the same target 4 times. It does have a 3-second cooldown on it, and the enemy target will have a number on top of their head when you hit the first ability, and so you will know once you reach 4 layers. This passive allows Hayabusa to make extreme plays in sticky situations, and remember, this only can be triggered 1 time every 3 seconds, like I talked about. A note, if 3 of Hayabusa's first skill's shuriken hit the same target, that counts as 3 layers. And if Hayabusa's ult hit the same target 4 times, this will also trigger his passive, even you're actually not seen in that duration. Hayabusa's first skill, Phantom Shuriken, will release 3 shurikens in a directed fan-shaped area. Each shuriken will deal a decent amount of damage and slows any units hit by a huge amount. If all 3 shuriken hit the same unit, the enemy unit will take 200% of damage, which is absolutely crazy. Consider how much base damage it does, plus bonus AD damage included in this ability. A note here, because of the 200% bonus, if you hit 3 shurikens, preferably you want to be standing right next to the enemy champion or unit when you release this ability and deal the most amount of damage. And once you hit the same unit with 3 shurikens, it actually returns 20% of mana back as well. Hayabusa's second ability, Qua Shadow, or I call it Shadow Clone Jutsu, but it's your preference, will release 4 shadows in a cross-shaped direction. If any shadow hit enemy champion, the affected unit will be slowed down and their shadow will be embedded into the enemy champion and follow him or her or it around. You can activate this ability again once active to teleport Hayabusa to the designated shadow or champion affected by this ability. A note, if the enemy champion steps outside a certain range from you, you will lose the ability to teleport onto him or her or it. The range is usually measured by your screen vision. This ability is what makes Hayabusa the most annoying champion to deal with, because you can teleport back to other shadows even being crowd controlled. Me being stunned or turned into a raccoon, whatever, the experienced Hayabusa player will use the ability to bait enemies' crowd control before teamfight even begins and capitalize on enemies' downtime. And we'll talk about that more in a little bit. An advanced note here is, when you're trying to escape enemy or enemy pursuits, make sure you actually position the shadow of this ability so that 1 is embedded into the pursuing enemy and at least 2 is positioned to locations where you can extend the distance. So once you do that, you first jump to the embedded enemy and auto-attack them and walk towards the opposite direction of the rest of the shadows. So they have to make a choice here. Either they pursue you directly or go to your shadows, knowing you might teleport to them. Either way, this will confuse the heck out of the enemy and open up the window for you to escape. Hayabusa's third ability, or ultimate, Shadow Kill, will make Hayabusa invulnerable to anything while jumping onto enemy champions and deal physical damage by slashing them with your shadows. Each slash will go onto a random unit close to the last unit slashed, and every time it's slashed onto the same unit, the damage will increase by 5% per slash, if the slash is happened continuously. Meaning if you have multiple units in the same area, you will slash onto all of them most likely and deal almost no damage to any single target. So if you are trying to use your ultimate to get a kill, make sure you find a way to clean the minions around the target champion, or just make sure the enemy is singled out before you use your ultimate. Another note here is, the slash of Hayabusa's ultimate functions like auto attack, meaning it does do splash damage for the target slashed onto. That's why it is super duper good for wave clearing. with 40% cooldown reduction that you will get on Hayabusa. Once you get it, Hayabusa becomes the best wave clearing champion there is. Even without it, it's still the best wave clearing champion there is. Does not matter if the wave is Lord Empowered Mega Minion with 10 cannon minions. You press an ult and just watch the wave disappear. And due to the low damage it does early on, I mainly use this to wave clear as fast as I can, so I can rotate to other lanes and or to gank or to go to jungle, extend my farm league to get to level 2 ultimate, which is level 8, as fast as I can. Another note here is the total slash quantity increases whenever you level up this ultimate, so it gets much stronger when you get to level 8 and level 12. This ability is extremely strong and unique to Hayabusa, and is what makes one-on-one against Hayabusa the ninja so formidable. You do not want to defend a tower alone against the Hayabusa if there is no minion around. If you're a marksman, for example, you will die without being able to do a single bit of damage to the savage ninja. With Hayabusa, I like to take Retribution as battle spell. This way, you can clean the first wave really easily with your first ability and go to level 2 and go use your shadow to steal enemies blue every time. Because Hayabusa can escape with a shadow even when CC'd, you do not really need Purify or anything else. Now, I see some people likes to take Execute on Hayabusa, especially Team Savage. It makes sense to a certain extent because if enemy teams groups up at all the time, your ultimate will do no damage to single unit because they are grouping up. So Execute offers you so much more kill secure potential. It also helps you in the early game because your ultimate does not do that much damage like I talked about. But experienced Hayabusa will not need it most of the time because if you use your combo correctly, like we were going to talk about, you will have enough damage. So Retribution will make your farm so much faster to level 2 ultimate. It's much more worth it to get to level 2 ultimate as fast as you can than just using Execute, which falls off really quickly. For Emblem, I like to take Physical Assassin for the movement speed, armor penetration, and physical damage for Hayabusa. Hayabusa does not need attack speed, so yeah, item-wise, I find the following build works the best on Hayabusa. You might differ based on your playstyle, but here it is. You first get Bloodlust X for the amazing lifesteal on all of your abilities, an incredible 20% cooldown reduction. If you hit your Phantom Shuriken on multiple targets when you jump in a team fight, you're gonna lifesteal like a god on top of your passive. I have to confess, when they took away the cooldown reduction on Hunter Strike from 20% to 10%, I was like, as a Hayabusa player. Now, the new Lord and Savior has arrived and introducing the Bloodlust X on Hayabusa, depending on where you're from. Now, after that, you get Warrior Boost, Dominant Size to max your cooldown reduction, as well as just add a little bitty tankiness. And this is actually enough tankiness for you to stay alive when you jump in, so you don't get bursted instantly by their physical damage. You want to follow up your build with Endless Battle. This item is actually really good considering Hayabusa is a skill-dependent physical assassin. This will help you proc so much true damage, it's actually insane. Then we'll get Blade of Despair and Wind Chaser. Now, if the enemy have a lot of bursts, like Eudora for example, you can go to defensive item first before you get Blade of Despair or Wind Chaser, so you don't die that much. Counters to Hayabusa include Eudora due to her burst. So if you go in and well-farmed Eudora, can you just use her combo on you, and you might just return as a corpse, right? And Natalia, and by the way, Natalia is also counter to Hayabusa due to her silence. A team can just follow up after silence you and kill you because if you can't use your shadow, you're pretty much done for because they're super squishy. A great team comp though, an ally for Hayabusa that works really well with him includes Franco the Fatty and Cyclops the One-Eye Monster. Because these two can easily send a single out enemy champion towards you, and you can just ult their ass and get an easy kill. With that, let's go into Hayabusa's shadow mechanic right now. The basic lane combo with Hayabusa is to use your second ability on enemy champion, TP in and use your first to get some lifesteal. Now make sure you're right next to the enemy champion, so 3 of your shuriken will hit to do the most damage and get lifesteal from your passive, then return safely and do it again when you have them. This is extremely mana draining, so I always get a magic necklace in the beginning of the game on top of the blue buff I usually steal. So once you have level 1 ultimate, you use your second ability to go in and use your first and auto attack. You can auto attack again because there's only so many slashes for level 1 ultimate. So in total of 2 auto attacks before using ult. And then you use your ultimate to do the most damage and return safely once again. But I usually just use level 1 ultimate to clean wave and go back to jungle. Do note, like I said, when you increase the level of your ultimate, the slash quantity increases dramatically, meaning the animation of your ultimate takes much longer. So at level 3 ultimate, for example, when you use your standard second ability to go in for the combo, you can max use your first ability immediately when you come out of the ultimate and return immediately. If you don't return, if you don't practice like in a lot of games, you will most likely die because if the timer on the second ability runs out, you will just sit in the middle of the enemy team and become a samurai instead. For those who don't understand samurai jokes, they don't just run away like ninja, they charge in and die, okay? But anyways, let's come back to what we're talking about. Lots of the time when you use a second ability on champions like Clint, Moscow, you don't want to dash in immediately. Instead, you actually want to walk towards them and let them use their dash abilities before you activate second ability again to jump on them. Otherwise, if you jump in immediately after you land your second ability, they can just dash away. And by holding and dragging your second ability, you can select which shadow you want to teleport to, so sometimes you can use this to outplay enemy champion. For example, you land your second ability and don't dash to them, just walk towards them, auto attack once and use your shuriken and then dash to another shadow, wait for ability cooldown and then dash back onto the embedded enemy to kill them with your shuriken thanks to its short cooldown. Last but not least, in the teamfight setting, Hayabusa's strength comes twofold. One, like I mentioned before multiple times, is to bait enemy squad control. Second is wave clearing. If you see a huge minion wave coming when enemy team is trying to siege a tower, you can use your standard combo to go in and just to clean the entire wave with your ultimate, stop the enemy from continue sieging your tower. And most of the time, if enemy team is grouped up, you can go in with your second ability and just use your first ability and auto attack to bait quad control and dash back until you find a better opportunity to use your ultimate. Don't waste your ultimate every time you go in because it might just help your team lose the game. So with that, thank you guys for watching this most in-depth guide video on Hayabusa once again, and hit the subscribe button if you liked the video. Check out more amazing videos and come hang out with us every day during our live stream on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook Live from 6 o'clock p.m. to 9:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, using the links listed below. With that guys, thanks again for watching this ranked gameplay, and I'll see you guys in our next